Roll call, please. Herb, would you take over?
Mr. Simons?
Here.
Mr. Towns excused. Mr. Boda?
Here.
Mr. Patsalis is excused.
Excused.
Mr. Horn?
Here.
Ms. Blair?
Here.
Blackstock's here.
Okay. Kathy, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Watch your foot.
Here we go. Okay, moving on to approval of the agenda as presented. Is there any additions or deletions to the agenda as presented? I have one. I would like to add the resignation of the township clerk to the agenda
New business?
New business?
under new business 3. And if there's no other additions or deletions to the agenda, a motion to accept the agenda with the added item 3 under new business.
I will make a movement to approve the agenda as presented with the new addition.
I'll support.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda with the corrections. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the approval of the minutes of July 2nd, 2018. They're in your packet. Is there any additions or corrections
I
to the
got
minutes?
a correction to make.
Mhm.
Backside of the minutes, under member comments, it has their Supervisor Simons stated the committee to hire additional office staff members, or myself, trustees Blair and Pat Salas. That was not to get additional office staff, that was to look for a
Manager.
township manager.
Okay.
I'd like to have that changed in the minutes, please. Other than that, I have nothing else. If there's no additional questions or so forth, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Support.
Oh, I had a motion, didn't we? We didn't, okay.
No.
All right, moved and supported, yeah, that was the one before. To accept the minutes of July 2nd. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have public comment. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak about anything that's not on the agenda? No. Okay. Oh, we have one.
My name is Cindy Boda, and I'm the Chair of the Park Commission. I just want to thank everybody that helped on Saturday. We put mulch in the playscape Saturday, 140 yards of mulch. And we had asked for residents that could come out and help. It was a really hot, humid day. I'd like to recognize Wayne and Patty Biscorner. They came and they worked really hard. Another young man that came on Sunday, his name was Rob Miller. He was a friend of one of our park workers, and he came out to help finish it. So our park staff has done a really good job throughout the summer. Some of them are going to be leaving to go to college, so our park manager, Deanna, has done a great job. Corey Weincheck was there on Saturday, and George Barnes. We have a new employee, Brent Basinger. He was there on Sunday. And Corey Allen's been a long time, 3-4-year employee, and Patrick McMillan has worked for us the last couple years. And I want to thank the DPW. They came in on Friday and they moved a lot of the mulch with a machine, so put it inside the area, the playscape, so that all they had to do was rake some of it out and not wheelbarrow all of it in. So we had a lot of help, but you know, it's always good to have community help, and maybe the next time when we have a project, we'll have more people come out, but we really appreciate the people that did come to help.
Thank you. It looks very nice, too. I was over looking at it yesterday. And it's also a safety issue too, that mulch is, for
Maybe
the-
I should,
when the little kids fall, they don't
yeah.
get injured.
As far as the safety issue, our insurance company works with what's called the PAR plan, and they give out grants twice a year. And we did apply for a grant to pay for the mulch, so the mulch itself was $2,450, and the PAR plan grant paid for that mulch. And then we used community service people, there were a few of them on Saturday and some more on Sunday. So we try to keep the costs down. It's a big expense to do that, but we did have a grant to pay for that mulch, so.
Good. That's even better. Thank you. Nobody else? Moving on to the consent agenda, we have the C1, June 2018 Marine City Fire Report. We have C2 is the June 2018 Building Department Report. C3 is the June 2018 St. Clair Fire Report. The C4 is the July 5th, 2018 Beautification Committee Minutes. And C5 is the June 2018 Revenue and Expenditure Report.
I will make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we accept the consent agenda as presented. Is there any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to disbursements, we have invoices of zero. We have accounts payable of $123,412.80. We have a payroll direct deposit of $61,444.19. We have an EFT account of $62,634.82 for a total disbursement of $247,491.81.
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills in the amount of $247,491.81.
I'll support.
Okay, is there any further questions on the distribution? I'd just like to make a comment, in our shortage of people and what we're going through here in the township right now, that's why we don't have some of these invoices, but we're trying, Corinne is doing an excellent job in keeping up what we can keep up. She's one person, and I think she's doing a fine job. So there's gonna be some blanks in here, but mainly we're trying to get the payroll done, and we're trying to get the accounts payable that come in. So you just have to bear with us until we get back to our regular staffing. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Blackstock, yes. Blair,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Boda,
Yes.
Mr. Simons.
Yes, motion carries. Moving on to new business, we have the resignation of Sandy Doctor from the Beautification Committee effective August 2nd, 2018.
I'll make a motion, we accept her resignation from the beautification committee effective August 2nd, and have the township write her a letter thanking her for her time served.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion?
Yes. Sandy Doctor has volunteered a lot of her time. The parks look great, so thank you, Sandy.
And I ditto that. I think Sandy's been on it for a number of years. I don't know exactly. It's got to be probably 20 years she's been on that, and she's done a lot with the flowers. She's worked on the weekends at Riviera Park up there, and she's done a lot, so.
Sandy's family also worked on the Riviera Park. They would all come in and they would trim all those vines, all that stuff.
Right, I know she worked there a lot.
And do a lot of the plantings and everything. Riviera Park is much better off for their help.
Correct.
We're gonna miss Sandy on the beautification commission.
That's the one on St. Clair Boulevard, St. Clair Shores Boulevard.
She's been a good worker on it.
Yes, I think she's done a great job. So I guess we'll accept her resignation with regrets. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next under new business, item 2, discuss hiring a full-time office staff. I would like to say that we have to hire somebody now. We probably are too late. We should have done it a little earlier. It's taking longer than I anticipated for this township manager to get in place. We've been waiting on that, and I think we got to make a move for one. I talked to Ms. Blair, and she thinks we need two. Yeah, we need one right now for sure. And we have a part-time person until, my opinion is, we need one. If we go to the two, we'd have to get a new job description for that person and how we're gonna do that. We just can't bring somebody in that we don't know what they're gonna be doing. So that would be something I think it's gotta be worked on. But, I would like the ability to hire another person. We have to post it, and get that person hired right now because we're gonna be really short. We're really gonna be short.
Is there a job description for this person?
This,
It would be Sandy Doctor's job, correct. It'd be
You want authorization from the board to advertise and interview
well,
people?
we have a lot of applications on it right now from the part-time position. We could advertise it if you want,
Well,
but that's
maybe-
gonna run into more weeks.
Yeah, maybe you can go through the part-time people, call them, ask them if they could consider
We
full-time.
have some people that were on the part-time that wanna work full-time, so I
Okay,
mean,
well,
I
maybe
think
we
we've got enough to choose from there without going out to re-advertise for this position.
How is,
is
how
Teresa
is
still
our
off,
part-time
Larry?
Any idea how much longer she's gonna be gone?
Who?
Teresa?
I got a letter, Teresa will be back on August the 13th with no restrictions. So,
Is our part-time worker still working out?
she's working out, yes. She's been here for like 3 weeks now, and there's some things she's getting. It's hard for Sandy to train her in everything in that short period of time, but there's been some bumps in the road and there's been some good, so
Have
I
you
guess we'll
given,
have to evaluate that a little later on.
have you given any more thought to hiring a company that does payroll?
I had the company in here that had paychecks in here. We sat down, there was myself and Corinne and Sandy Smith was here, because they're the ones that's most familiar with the payroll. We laid our whole thing out to paychecks on what we want done. Paycheck said we really wouldn't be a fit because of the way we're structured to do this DPW. The way we have to break that wages down, she said, really, they couldn't do it right now until we restructured that. So I've got to call into Scott Hoskins from Stewart, Bovee and Whipple. He's sending somebody in to look at that. They probably won't be here till the 31st or the 1st of August. That person will be here to look at how we can, to me, it's too complicated. And Stewart, Bovee and Whipple are the ones that wrote how we're to pay these people. How we break down all their wages, their hours, their time, the equipment. It's ridiculous that we're paying somebody like this. So I think it's gotta be.
Some goes back to the original setup then.
Well, they revamped it, probably 3 or 4 years ago. We had Larry Allen in here and he revamped it. This is what we're working under now. They think it's the best thing. He sat down at that time with, I believe it was Sandy Smith, maybe Corinne. And they were all on that, working that out. And it's just, to me, it's just too complicated. I can't figure it out.
I've looked at it, I can't figure it out.
So,
I get a copy of that every month, and it is very confusing. It's very time-consuming to write in all those hours.
oh,
If a DPW worker spends 2 hours in the park, then that gets written down. Whatever machine they use in the park that day, that has to get written down. It's, unless.
and then when they
that
go to
BSNA
China, it even gets more complicated.
Oh, yeah. And then if the BSNA program allows them, maybe when he comes in, if the program that we already have in place allows them to put that in,
Well, according to the paychecks lady, when she was here, she said, they could do, if we gave them all the breakdowns, we can hand it to them and they will process it. But like the
what
paychecks
they said.
and Corinne and Sandy said, once we get to that point, there's no more work.
yeah.
All the work is done, and we're just giving it them to
Yeah,
write the checks. And she said with the BSNA program that we have in place right now, it's a good system. It does it. Once you get their hours all broke out, that's what takes all the time. So we've held off on doing that. I mean, she said, until you change how you're gonna do that, we can't help you.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe we can get something done and get that changed around.
So back to the hiring the full-time person. I really think we should be hiring for Sandy Doctor's job. I mean, we probably should have done it. We've had the part-time person training with her for 3 weeks. Trying to hold off on this township manager, but we can't hold off any longer. We're gonna be down to 1.5 people.
Yeah, you want a motion for you to,
Well, either me or somebody on this board get on and help me find this person. I mean, do you want me, I think we need somebody that knows a lot about office work. What we're hiring this person for would be to the building department,
Cemetery.
cemetery, taking the
Permits.
bill money, the tax money, the cash drawer, those type of things. I mean, I can do it, but I would like to have somebody looking at it with me. But I think we gotta get this person right now. But I still have to post it for 5 days for the union. We gotta post that, which I can do that tomorrow. So the 5 days.
do you want me to come in?
Yeah, you can come in and help me, that'd be fine, yeah.
Okay.
We can just look at what we got. And anybody else, we can use somebody else, if Herb or Don or Kathy is available, we can. But I think we gotta have a motion that we can hire somebody right now. I know it isn't what I thought we were gonna do, but I think we gotta do it now.
Well, I'll make a motion that we authorize the supervisor to go back through the applications we've received in the past for part-time and full-time for a person to replace Sandy Doctor, doing building permits, what else?
Cemetery.
Well, her job description up
Her
there,
job description will be
It's-
up.
quite involved.
Okay. They can fill that position and
Okay.
have the final word on it.
Do we have a second?
I'll support.
And the other thing I think we should really look at is, this should be the first one, and then I think we should go right away and start looking for another one. But we have some candidates, look at them, and when we get them in there to interview, then we can come back in a week or two. And if we want the other person, we'll get the other one.
Should we get authorization from the board now for the second person? Because even with the second person, we'll have a total of 4 people, and when we had 4 people 6 months ago, we were still short.
I would rather have a full board if we're gonna do that,
Okay,
just for that second person. What do you feel
Okay.
about that, Irvin?
I agree.
So, okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next item under new business 3 is the resignation of our township clerk, to do with health problems. This is East China Township Board of Trustees, attention, Mr. Larry Simons, Township Supervisor. The writer finds he must resign from the East China Township clerk effective July 16th, 2018 at 2 p.m. This resignation applies to all boards, committees, and assignments. Sincerely, Greg Town. I'd like to thank Greg Town for doing what he did here so far. He's got quite involved. We have an election coming up. I guess since I've been on the board, we haven't had a vacancy like this, so I got to do a little bit of homework and
Well, have you talked to Sandy Smith at all about running the election?
a little bit. I'm going to call our county clerk tomorrow
Oh, okay,
and see what route he's advising us to go.
okay.
I did talk to Sandy Smith, and she agreed to do the AV ballots until we get somebody, but she doesn't want to do the election.
Should do the absentee ballot.
Absentee ballots have to be done every day, because they come in every day for a while. Greg's done most of them. He's been in there pounding on that computer every day of the week. But,
Does the county clerk furnish someone?
what's that?
Does the county clerk furnish someone if you need them?
Well, I don't know. That's one of the questions I would be asking him. They must have somebody.
They
I
gotta
mean,
have somebody
I mean,
somewhere.
I'm sure other townships have let their clerk 3 to 4 weeks before an election, you know, So, we'll find out, but I'm sure we don't want our election to fail, we don't want to lose our ballots and that, so I'm sure it won't. We'll get somebody to cover it. We've got a couple alternatives, doing a little brainstorming, and we got some people we can call, but I think how it goes is I think this board will have to appoint somebody to fill that vacancy until election, which I don't think you can get on the election now for August the 7th, because there's not enough time. But I'll find out. I may have to call a special meeting to appoint that person, but I'll keep you posted on what we're doing with that.
I think the other forms had to be in by July 19th, because Kizron on our board, that's when her nominating petition had to be in, I think, by the July 19th, maybe for the primary.
I don't know.
But she was appointed to the Park Commission 2 years ago, so she has to run this time. But I don't know how that works when it's a 4-year, he was elected for 4 years.
Are they elected for 4 years?
Not the park, the Park Commission is normally, but Kizron was appointed
Oh, okay.
for 2 years. And then now she has to run, but she had a nominating petition she was circulating that has to be in by July 19th. But I'm not sure how the 4-year, elected position works.
Okay. All right, well, more to come on that. But we'll probably have to look for people who want to do that too. I mean, I just don't want to dump it on somebody. I would like to have discussions with them beforehand. So, do we have a motion to accept the resignation of
Also
Mr.
move.
Town?
Also move.
Second?
With the letter of
I'll
thanks and
support.
serving.
I'll support.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Too bad he's leaving. He was doing a good job.
He really got involved in it, and it's sorry to see him go, especially now. Moving on to unfinished business, we have the discussion of the water and sewer rates. There's a little package I put in the back. I think Mr. Pasalis had asked what it would cost to raise, like, for 10 cents. I hope it's all in here.
I didn't have that in my packet.
I got one sheet.
Yeah, that's the only one that I have.
You only got one, too?
Yep.
Did you get one done?
There's none in my packet.
Okay.
Here.
Well, I'm really not prepared to do all this water today. I think I gave you this, and I've got another one that I got from our engineers today, which I read it. I think we need some more work on this before we make a motion to do something on this water, but we definitely got to do something on the water rates. You can take this home and look at it. I think I would like a motion to table this for this meeting, the sewer and water discussion, and I'll have more information. To me, this information is incomplete. I just got that today. I printed that off this afternoon. So if somebody would make a motion to table this, I mean, we can still discuss it.
I'll make a motion that we table the water and sewer rates.
I'll support.
Okay, and then, and I'll have more details, but you can look at that, and there was like 4 sheets of this. I don't know why she didn't put them all in there, but, and you didn't get any in yours, huh?
None of it.
Okay. Yeah, well, I was gonna suggest that we table this anyway, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any
while you're
questions anybody
talking-
wants to ask about it? Would you rather I had the water department superintendent here and the sewer superintendents? Would they answer any questions you have on raising these rates, or?
I could, but I don't know what they would add to the discussion.
Okay,
I
All
can
right.
have them here, but
Or they could give us a letter of what their recommendation.
Well, that is a recommendation. Remember,
Is it,
Mr. Loper, our water superintendent, they put this together, and they advised us a year ago, or 10 months ago, that we should raise the water rates 40 cents a thousand.
Okay.
Come on, how much?
40 cents a thousand. And our
A little too high.
PC, well, what's the number you want to raise it to? More?
Probably a quarter,
Certainly isn't
no more than a
40 cents.
quarter. Try it.
Well, we should have done that a year ago. We should have went 20, and we haven't raised them since 15, so we're really falling behind. Just with inflation, we're losing 1 or
Well,
2% a year.
That's because of the state
The state?
mandating what we have to do.
Right. So, okay, it's been moved and seconded that we table it. Any other further discussion?
Yeah, well, you got, well, you were talking about the engineers. How are they coming on the sewer? Are they doing any more work on the sewer? on
Well, I
Fort
have the
Drive?
thing on my desk in there. They did we hired PCE to do that assessment. Blaine was on vacation all last week. I called him. I said, it's on my desk. I think he has to be the one to look at it
Well,
first.
now's the time to
I
get
think
them in
the
there.
Filming crews were out over on,
He-
by Eldon.
They're trying to
by
clean the
Drive.
rest of that we haven't cleaned, I guess it's north of Walnut
Mhm.
by Eldon,
They were out this
All the way
morning.
up to,
to the Rico Road,
yep.
to the lift station. That was the part we couldn't get in there because it was too wet, but it's been drying
No,
out
it's
for
dry
16
now.
days.
That's-
So he said they had them scheduled to come in this week. Did you see him there
Okay.
today?
Yeah, some this
Yeah.
morning.
So he's working on that, so yeah, that's where that is. The preliminary that I read in the thing is, they're saying we could fix that internally, just what we have there. And I added up the numbers, it was a little over 200,000. So that's all part of this asset management. If we raise these rates, what's this built in is to save money to do these things, to do the camera and to do the cleaning, to do the lift stations. Right now, we're taking this money out of the general fund, which shouldn't be done. But anyways, no further discussion on the sewer and water tabling. If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Announcements, I don't have any announcements, other than if the residents could just bear with us on the way we're staffed right now in the office, we're kind of a little behind. There may be some trouble with some water bills, some tax bills. I think we've got it covered. We don't seem to be getting many things back, but I don't know what's out there. We had a few problems and we've corrected them. I have those part-time people coming in and they're doing a great job helping us out. Otherwise, we're in tough shape if we don't have those people. The other thing I'd like to talk about is our garbage pickup. The last 2 weeks, we've had excessive calls on missed garbage,
Really?
My house included.
your house included. I talked to him, Terry, Friday. I had a lengthy conversation with them. They got trucks out there. Excuse me, but not our fault that they can't, they signed a contract with us to do the job.
Right.
If they're not gonna do the job, then we're gonna get somebody else. Because we can't take 25 phone calls on a Friday and Friday morning that people didn't get their garbage pickup. And I'm sure there was a lot of them that didn't call, that just took it back in, they'll put it out next week.
What excuse?
That's
was-
unacceptable.
What excuse was they using when you talked to them?
Manpower. They've hired a lot of new people. Not our problem. It's their problem. They gotta get,
I don't know
The
how
right
they can
people
miss it
here.
if it's setting out there.
huh?
I said, I don't know how they can miss it if it's setting out by the road.
Well, we have a lot of problems on some of them over here on King Road where the township lines, it runs on an angle there.
Yeah.
And those people are missed continuously. They've been missed for years. We gotta do something for these people. I'm just getting fed up with it. I mean, I hear it from the residents, I hear it from the employees. We shouldn't be we're paying good money to have that trash picked up, and it better be getting picked up. And we shouldn't have to spend our time, our residents shouldn't have to spend their time calling the company, which I made the calls on Friday to Mterra and Import Yarn and an answering machine. I didn't get called back for like an hour. When I got called back, and they're short-staffed.
Don't we
got a
have
few
a
of
phone
them.
number here for Flint?
We do, and that's what the people are supposed to call Flint, and if they don't get Flint, but this is what I'm telling you, call this Flint number and you don't get any, because they told me they got 100,000 customers and they got 2 people taking phone calls. So it doesn't add up, it doesn't work,
Should we,
and I told them that.
should we contact the gentleman that,
I did, Mr. Gary Varesso. He got the people out here to,
should we have him visit us in our next meeting?
would be, or we're getting rid of the contract, one or the other. That's a good idea, Herb.
I would have him here.
Okay, or the contract, I'm gonna get the contract out and look at it. I'm pretty sure I know what it says, but, if they're not fulfilling their obligation, then we gotta look elsewhere.
Go for it. How much longer is the contract? I'm just curious.
I believe it's another 2 or 3 years, so it's not like it's gonna be a month or two.
We just extended it.
What's that?
We extended it.
I know we did, that's what I'm saying, but the extension is probably another 2 or 3 years.
How many people on King Road do we have that are usually missed? Because you said that some is China and then some residents are East China. And
Correct.
the garbage man gets confused who's who.
Correct.
Like how many are
I would
East
say no
China?
more than 3 or 4.
But that's been going on even before
For
we
years,
had
and it
there.
shouldn't be. That I've told them, you can't miss these people.
Is there any way that we could take those 3 people and put them in the China section?
And that was suggested too. I suggested that to them.
Yeah.
They said, no, that they'll get it corrected. Well, they haven't got it
Yeah,
corrected. Yeah, because China's, I believe, is on Friday.
yeah, it's just so the garbage man goes down, gives
picks
the whole
everybody up.
street
Correct.
instead
Maybe if
of,
we didn't send them a full payment,
Yeah.
they would notice that real quick.
They
Yeah.
switched.
And for everyone that they should call for, that we should get our money back, is something I'm thinking.
I wouldn't pay them for it. If they don't pick it up, I wouldn't pay them.
Well, they come back and pick it up Friday morning, after the people have called and complained, and to me, that's not acceptable.
Well, that's not acceptable.
So, I like the idea, let's get them here for the next meeting.
And then they stack the barrels in front of the mailbox so the mail people can't come and read the mail.
Yeah, my mail lady,
Thank you,
she's not going
Cindy.
to
Right
stacked up in
there,
front
in
of
front
the.
of the mailbox. Like there's nowhere else to put them.
Yeah, my mail lady don't like the can stacked in front of the mailbox. It's real upset. So,
Okay. Other than that, I don't have, another announcement is, they're gonna be doing the, Recor Road's gonna be shut down. They're gonna replace that large culvert here. I don't know if you guys know, about 4 weeks ago, a hole was in the road. I was on a Sunday and they had to bring the, you probably seen it, Mr. Horn.
Yep, I seen it.
And they brought the county road commission in and they plugged it, but the culvert's all rusted out, so we've authorized to put a new culvert in, but it had to go through engineering and to figure out what size culvert and the whole job, so they've got that all done. And they ordered the culvert, it'll be here the end of July. So they should be doing that, because I want that done before we pave that road.
How long is it gonna take the county to do that one?
Probably a day or two.
about 3 months,
It's just a replacement of a,
about 3 months.
no. They'll get right on
One
it.
culvert, Larry, where's that?
I believe it's the first one here, as you're going the other side of the sledding hill,
Yeah.
after the dog park.
Okay,
Just west of the sledding hill.
so the Rankin Drain,
I believe it might be the Rankin Drain there, yeah.
they just came in and cut all the Phragmites down this
I
past
think it
week or
is.
so?
But the other thing they had to do with the engineering is something they had to get permission from DTE to go a little bit farther into their property so they can make the culvert longer. And then we're gonna be doing when we do the road there, we're gonna be filling part of that ditch in by the sledding hill and getting rid of that guardrail.
And that's gonna be nice.
It'll make our park look better, not so,
Our park manager won't have to cut that ditch.
right. So, that was my only other thing that I had to bring. So next would be, member comments, Mr. Horn,
I have nothing.
Mr. Boda,
I have nothing this evening, thank you.
Mr. Blackstone,
Nothing, thank you.
Mrs. Blair.
no, thank you.
Oh, boy. I really don't have anything. I put it all out there. So I guess a motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'll make a motion to, that we adjourn the meeting at 8:04.
I'll support.
Been moved and supported that we adjourn at 8:04. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.